A Villain in Venice, Jane of the Air, Book 1. A steampunk detective and aviatrix and part-time spy. Available now. All profits to the NHS.
Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Yes, still recorded on what I can only describe as a gloriously sunny day in April. This morning I woke up and had to scrape the car of ice, but now it's terribly warm and there isn't a cloud in the sky, which probably means the ice will be back. Now, Space 1999, one of the greatest of all theme tunes. It's the 70s. Star Trek hasn't been on for ages. Star Wars is coming at you, hurtling towards you, but isn't there yet. 2001's been and gone, and we're left with a TV series that is beloved by many and ridiculed by many. I adore Space 1999. It has its flaws. Its primary flaw, apart from the maths, which has been fixed by Big Finish, we'll talk about that in a minute, and the sheer size of the moon, well, that's to be expected. It was kind of glossed over on the TV show. It's a rollicking adventure. Yeah. Set in the 70s with a cool cast. Yeah. And they've got the greatest of all spaceships. The Eagle is superb. Space 1999 is basically a space station on the moon, drift, and they meet some monsters of the week. And that's where the narrative is. That's it. We're drifting, we're going to come across some people, some things or weird will happen. Now, that wasn't for everyone, I'll grant you. But, with Big Finish, not Volume 1, the pilot, because this is Volume 1, which is the second release, does make sense. It's a bit Babylon 5-y. You've got one big storyline where the Station Alpha is on the moon and the moon is drifting across interstellar space. It's moving at quite a speed, the maths of which is a bit sort of glossed over, but it's moving at a speed, which means it goes into the vicinity of various planets, meets the inhabitants, and then moves on. And while they're there, they've got Operation Exodus, which is everyone goes and leaves and lives on this new planet. So basically they've got like 3 days to decide whether they want to stay somewhere. Clearly there's other things go on, like mind episodes, where they meet intergalactic creatures that give them new experiences, new ways of looking at their own character. You know, standard Star Trek fare. But that is me poo-pooing on the entire... I can't believe I said that out loud. It's me having a go at the whole concept of Space 1999. You see, Big Finish took the original TV scripts, the original TV episodes, and then turned them into something magnificent for the pilot. All of the little fiddly bits and the niggles were ironed out, fixed, and they treated the TV version like version 1 of a script. And we ended up with something with a fantastic theme tune, thanks Benji, and then just brilliant bit of atmosphere. Yes, everyone looks the same, and it's just great. So here, we're now in the series proper. 1.1, The Siren Call. 1.2, Death and Other Dominion by Roland Moore. And 1.3, Goldilocks by Andrew Smith. 2 Smiths, 1 Roland Moore. 3 stories. Now, this does fit considerably more into the standard framework of how these stories are going to work, how we're going to go forward from this point, which is fine by me. So, let's hit a bit of a synopsis, shall we? The moon has been sucked through a wormhole in space and has arrived countless miles away from its proper place. The crew of Moonbase Alpha can only guess at the resultant devastation left behind on Earth, again largely ignored on the TV programme. They must decide how best they can survive. Some Alphans find it difficult to let go of the notion of returning to Earth. Others are facing the reality that they must find another home to ensure the survival of the human race. They can't survive on Alpha indefinitely. Oh no. So, 1.1, the Siren Call, Andrew Smith. The people of Moonbase Alpha are recovering from the shock of their base and the moon having been blasted through the wormhole in space, and now they are far from home with little hope of returning to Earth. Ahead of them lies the planet Meta, whose signal somehow caused this catastrophe. Could this be their new home, or does more danger lie ahead? I'm thinking more danger. I am. You see, the planet Meta was where they were heading at the end of the pilot in the TV series, which was then promptly massively ignored. Almost so that it felt like a UFO, where you were going, am I watching these episodes in the right order? And you realised you were. They'd just ignored it, which was weird. But here we get to visit the planet Meta, hooray! And we do find out some more things. And this is important for us UFO fans out there. It is still heavily hinted that this is basically what Space 1999 was originally meant to be, which was UFO Season 3, set several years later. It was hinted at in the pilot, and here it's hinted at, well, not even, it's stated categorically, that the Earth has met dodgy aliens in the past who had something going on, thus opening up Big Finish to a lovely set of UFO. But of course we don't need it now that we've got this. This is the Season 3 of UFO that we were always promised. The Alphans have gone out there and they're going to find the aliens from UFO. And this makes me do this little dance. Did you see the little dance? Thank God this isn't on YouTube. Story 2. Death and Other Dominion by Roland Moore. Now this is adapted from the original teleplay by Anthony Terapov and Elizabeth Barons, who I've never heard of, but I'm sure they do a lovely job. A voice calls to the Alphans from a mysterious snowbound planet. Can it possibly be that humans from Earth have really colonised this remote world? When Commander Koenig and his team investigate, they discover the planet holds many terrible secrets. This is arguably the strongest of the three, mainly because it kind of captured my imagination, but mostly because it's a remake of an acceptable TV episode. But what they've done, like the pilot, is they've taken this and made it bigger, more exciting, and filled in the gaps. Basically, they've fixed it. And that's where we're at. There's some lovely in-depth thought and characterization, and constantly throughout this whole thing there's more building on all of the characters, so that we're going to become very, very attached to these people in future. 1.3 Goldilocks by Andrew Smith. Not too hot, not too cold, the perfect planet in which life can thrive. But not all forms of life that thrive in the Goldilocks zone are peaceful. Investigating the lush paradise, the Alphans must battle an ancient horror for survival. You know what? This actually rocks. It's a nice bit of medieval world building, which, Andrew Smith really does excel at. And it's just nice. You're letting it wash over you while you're, I think I was tidying the shed at the time. But it just works. I don't want to spoil it, because obviously the Alphans are drifting through space and they have to, almost like alien life form of the week. They have to experience it and then move on, because let's face it, if they did Operation Exodus straight away, there would only ever be this one box set. And calling it Volume 1 really implies that they are on their way somewhere else. But it's nice that they're going to meet a different set of aliens, and obviously the language issues are dealt with, psychic powers are dealt with. It's all very, very good. And you know what? I am looking forward to the next box set. I really am. So with that, I'll play you the trailer and let you decide for yourself. So until next time, be seeing you.
From Big Finish Productions, Space 1999, Volume 1.
Moonbase Alpha? Moonbase Alpha, are you there?
abandon hope of returning to Earth.
Was I right, Professor? Was someone watching us from Meta?
You're suggesting the moon was deliberately taken out of Earth's orbit? That's a spacecraft.
It's small. I almost missed it. Take cover!
This is Moonbase Alpha.
My intentions are peaceful.
Simmons, get down!
I gave them a secret code.
I had to lift off before my eagle was buried in snow and ice.
I think your people should join us.
Imagine that. Being able to set our own course for once.
Smell that fresh air.
It may be brand new to us, but it's probably been here a few million years or so, and we don't know a thing about it.
Look out! Stop! What do you think you're...
Humanity's dream of immortality.
I'm going to take their nuclear core to power this ship into deep space.
Stop! Now you see I mean it. Would you look at that?
Are we about to have humankind's first contact with aliens?
Big Finish. We love stories.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. Available on Spotify, iTunes, Acast, Stitcher, and wherever good podcasts are found. Get early access to content by subscribing to the Tin Dog Podcast YouTube channel. You can support the show at patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on Twitter at tindogpodcast or email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. All of the things discussed are the intellectual property of others. No infringement is intended. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.